What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Monday Night Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the real reason WWE debuted Shield 2.0, a WWE star's real personal hate is showing on television, worrying Bianca Belair news, an iconic tag team ready to retire, what happened to TITANTRONS in WWE, has BAYLEY re-signed, sad news as Brodie Lee's mother passes away, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on our new Facebook page. As always, we'll recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good, as number 1, Solo does the Matrix. A Raw kicked off with a promo between LA Knight and Solo Sikoa. The comedic chemistry was once again on full display. Let's face it, these two were born to be a tag team, and Sikoa dodging Jey Uso's warning shot like he was Neo in the Matrix was absolutely hilarious. It's likely that this tag team is going to continue into the fall, especially as it's rather unlikely that LA Knight defeats Roman Reigns for the WWE World Championship at Money in the Bank in October. Stranger things have happened, but this ain't going to be one of them. Number 2, fresh faces. Now, a new faction is debuted on Raw. The main event of Raw was sent into chaos when Royce Keys and OTM made their presence felt, and the group are said to be a heel faction on TV moving forward, and this naturally opens a door for faction warfare for Survivor Series War Games later in the year. Well, some people are saying that this is going to be Shield 2.0. Does it have the makings of becoming one of the most successful factions in WWE history though? Number 3, Rey Fenix shines. It was actually great to see Rey Fenix finally get some decent TV time on Raw last night. His match versus Dragon Lee was the best match on the show, and it goes without saying that his match versus Brother Penta should be the match of the year contender. Oh, and whatever the hell that move Dragon Lee pulled through the ropes was absolutely sensational. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in a wrestling match. It's like he gained speed through the ropes. He has done this move before, especially in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but it's great to see it on WWE television. That dive was just insane. And number 4, a big fight feel. The Obafemi and Bron Breakker program has been a home run on Raw. The match feels huge, and it almost feels like WWE is building towards a WrestleMania matchup rather than a glorified TV special. Their contract signing was the right mix of intensity and entertainment, and Breakker mentioning that he was going to be the face of the company before he got injured is an interesting plot thread to keep an eye on. I guess the only thing Bron Breakker has to work on is trying not to break when Obafemi speaks. Bron has been holding on to dear life not to crack, not just this week, but last week as well. Now, a lot of fans are expecting an unfinish for their match next month, and whilst this is indeed the most likely option, it's possible that WWE sees this discourse and decides to deliver a huge swerve. If WWE does deliver a swerve, then a returning Bronson Reed costing Femi the match could be the new direction. But that was good. What about the bad? Is number 1, has WWE given up on Javon Evans? Now, whilst Javon Evans tried his best last night versus Big Cass, the match has received mixed reviews online, and it's likely mainly down to the belief that WWE are burying Evans. Evans could easily be a huge attraction for the company, and it's being rightly questioned whether Evans losing to a 40-year-old Cass in about a couple of minutes is anyone's best interest. I mean, sure, WWE wants to make Cass look strong, but again, it's coming at the expense of younger talent and a lack of star power. A Raw last night felt it was missing a ton of star power. World Champion Roman Reigns was absent, well, nothing usual there. Intercontinental Champion Chad Gable was relegated to a backstage segment, and Seth Rollins is nowhere to be seen since SummerSlam. Raw just feels like it doesn't have that many major stars right now, and it could ultimately be impacting how casual viewers are engaging with the show on a weekly basis. At least there was nothing downright ugly on this week's episode of Raw. Whilst the show definitely dipped in quality compared to the prior week, the show is still mostly consistent, and the upward swing in quality continues to be present following SummerSlam earlier in the month. What do you guys think of the red brand this week? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at the real reason WWE just debuted Shield 2.0. Now, our top story today looks at the real reason why WWE now decided to debut the Shield 2.0. Last night's Raw ended in a shocking manner as Royce Keys and OTM caused havoc in the main event, and the group are now being already labelled as the new version of the Shield, and it turns out that the group will now be a heel faction on Raw moving forward as per Dave Meltzer. Now, in relation to why WWE introduced the group, well, there are 4 crucial reasons. As number 1, well, War Games is approaching. As WWE is just 2 months before their annual War Games PLE, this year it looks like once again to center around the Bloodline faction, and we can now likely expect the Bloodline to take on Keys faction in some capacity. Weirdly, despite the Bloodline being heels, it's been reported by Dave Meltzer that the group is going to be babyfaces when feuding with Keys and the OTM. This could be incredibly confusing, but it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. Number 2, it's the mastermind of Paul Heyman. Just last week, WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman put over Royce Keys, and a matter of days later, Keys is now returning on Raw and leading a faction at that. This is a huge seal of approval for Keys, and it'll be interesting to see if Heyman becomes involved in the storyline. Number 3, it definitely wakes up the tag division. Now, OTM are an established tag team, and the Raw tag team division badly needs teams as a matter of urgency. It wouldn't come as a shock to see the duo take the titles from the Vision in the immediate future. Number 4, Roman needs names to work with, and naturally the next step in the storyline is Roman Reigns versus Royce Keys. This is likely going to play out in the latest stages of the year, as Reigns vs Penta, Reigns vs LA Knight, and Reigns vs Solo Sikoa looks to be guaranteed matches. What do you guys think of this new faction debuting in WWE? Do they have the potential of being the new Shield? I mean, come on, look at the comparisons. Dressed all in black and destroying superstars as a surprise. It's literally the same booking. They're here to make a statement. Next up, a WWE star's real personal hate is showing on television. Corey Graves' apparent dislike of Big Cass is now coming up full front on WWE television. During Big Cass's mauling of Javon Evans on last night's Raw, Graves barely had a word to say, and when he had something to finally say about the match, he mentioned he's a coward, he attacks smaller superstars, his insecurities are showing. Now, if you didn't know, Cass previously dated Carmella, which is Graves' wife, for several years when they were both in WWE. A report surrounding their breakup alleged that their relationship became physical, which obviously provides important context for Graves' noticeably hostile attitude towards Cass, and that it's very real. Who knows, this could all be playing out to something in which Cass actually attacks Corey Graves on commentary, maybe even leading to Graves coming out of retirement. I mean, who knows at this stage? What's for sure is that the animosity is real. But Raw also last night featured a bit of a hilarious botch from Corey Graves as well. When Royce Keys returned during the main event, Graves screamed, "It's Hobbs," and Michael Cole stated, "It is," but Cole instantly realized what had occurred, so he tried to backtrack by screaming Royce Keys numerous times throughout the closing angle. The audio botch is likely going to be edited out of future replays of the show, as WWE likely won't want to associate Keys with his prior AEW name. Next up, a big Bloodline debut incoming. Azela Fatu has only been on the NXT roster for 2 weeks, but it looks like WWE is getting ready to call him up to Raw. On Raw last night, a vignette played for Fatu, and according to Dave Meltzer, he'll be on the main roster sooner rather than later. Fatu is likely going to be involved in War Games this year, so a debut before the November PLE seems incredibly likely. Next up, worrying news about Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair was out of action with a serious finger injury before a pregnancy. It was said that the finger injury was unprecedented in the sense that it simply wasn't healing in a natural way. But now things have gone from bad to worse for the former world champion. As taken to her Instagram story, Belair revealed that she's now suffering from carpal tunnel syndrome in both of her hands. No one ever talks about this stuff. Currently carpal tunnel in both hands. Fingers completely numb, no feeling in surgery finger whatsoever, no grip strength, and now also mom thumb. WTF. Now hopefully WWE gives Belair the medical resources she needs to overcome the condition, and we eventually see the talented star back on WWE programming, but in this instance, it could take a while longer. Next up, is Drew coming back? Now it seems that Drew McIntyre's absence from WWE looks set to continue, despite the former world champion now being back in the United States, as per PW Insider. McIntyre hasn't appeared on WWE television since losing an unsanctioned match to Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania 42 all the way in April, but since then he's been growing a big career in Hollywood, acting in film roles for the upcoming Highlander reboot and The Last Druid. Now according to PW Insider's Mike Johnson, WWE currently has no creative plans in place for McIntyre's return, and discussions about bringing him back to Raw or SmackDown are not actively taking place, so it does suggest to fans that his return is not going to be imminent. Now, McIntyre has remained active on social media but has given no official indication of when he'll wrestle again. His hiatus follows a successful start to 2026, during which he briefly became undisputed WWE champion before losing it back to Cody Rhodes following interference from Jacob Fatu. We hope to see him back really soon though. Next up, WWE taped SmackDown. Last night was a really busy night for WWE as they taped this week's edition of SmackDown. Now you might be pleased that we won't be posting spoilers, yet spoilers are circulating on social media for those who don't want to wish to wait until Friday night. WWE will be delivering a similar approach on Friday this week, as Raw and SmackDown will both be taped on one night. And this means that all main roster programming heading into Sunday night's main event will have been recorded by the end of Friday night. Is this a good thing to do, WWE? Next up, another big WWE debut set. Lola Vice is now heading to the WWE Raw roster. Vice is set to debut on the brand on September 14th when the show airs live from Mexico City. Vice is considered by many to be one of the brightest young stars in the entire company, and hopefully WWE doesn't drop the ball with her, much like they have with Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace. Next up, an iconic tag team retiring? Could the legendary tag team the Young Bucks be about to retire? According to the Wrestling Observer Radio, all members of the Elite faction are set for life, and whilst Kenny Omega is likely going to continue wrestling, the Young Bucks could call it a day when their contracts expire. I'm not sure how much longer any of them are going to go because Matt considered stopping. Matt's in his 40s and they're set. All of them, they're all set for life. They made a lot of money, they do their vacations and everything like that, but it's not like they're Ric Flair and they spend like crazy. They're all set. I think Kenny's going to go and try and go as long as he can, but I could see Matt and Nick. I've heard it discussed that this might be their last contract. The celebrated duo almost signed with WWE all the way back in 2019 before the inception of AEW, and if they do retire, this will be one of the most legendary tag teams to have never had a proper run in the promotion. Next up, WWE going all in. The WWE is reportedly going to treat the upcoming Sunday night's main event special like a PLE. According to WrestleVotes, WWE could be adding Fatal Influence versus Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and Tatum, and the event is being treated as a PLE light. I do know the women's trios match, Fatal Influence versus Alexa, Tatum, and Charlotte, has been loosely discussed to make that card. They're treating this event as a PLE light. This is definitely the right move, especially with WWE not having an official main roster PLE for the month of September. The card currently features 2 WrestleMania-worthy matches, and the card is expected to feature around 4 or 5 matches in total. But just remember, they gotta squeeze that into 2 hours, with ads, so don't expect any long matches. Next up, what really happened to TITANTRONS in WWE? And one of the things fans often complain about when it comes to the modern day presentation of WWE is the lack of TITANTRONs. Years ago, wrestlers used to have a TITANTRON which featured an array of highlights of their careers, and this helped create an image of the wrestler's history as well as their brand. But unfortunately, in the modern era, most wrestlers simply have their logo plastered on the screen, and that's literally it. But in relation to why WWE has made this move, Fightful Select is reporting that the new LED sets allow for talent to be branded. They said LED sets provided an opportunity to do a branded look for each talent instead of a compilation of wrestling moves. From a housekeeping standpoint, the older entrance video style was a pain to keep up with evolving looks or gimmicks, talent featured in videos not being part of the company, etc. Well, this is a great insight, yet it's still disappointing that so much of WWE's presentation feels so safe and bland. Next up, did Bayley re-sign with WWE? Now, our next story looks at the future of Bayley in WWE. Bayley's contract is set to expire soon, and the latest update prior to today was that she would only be returning to WWE television if she re-signs with the promotion. Well, according to Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez on the Wrestling Observer Radio today, Bayley being mentioned on Raw last night is likely a sign that she's re-signed. It was previously reported that if Bayley had re-signed with the company, then she will return to TV to finish her rivalry with Lyra Valkyria, which does indeed look to be the plan at this stage. And finally, some sad news unfortunately, as Brodie Lee's mother passes away. Now it seems that the wrestling world has now received more sad news involving the family of the late Brodie Lee, who competed as Luke Harper in WWE. His mother, Nancy Huber, has now just recently passed away, with Brodie's widow, Amanda Huber, announcing the news in an emotional post on X. "My heart is broken and I have no words. Rest in peace, Nancy Huber, aka Nana, aka the greatest mother-in-law anyone could ever ask for." Now, Amanda described Nancy as an incredibly loving mother-in-law and said she was grateful that Nancy had treated and loved her like her own daughter. She also shared the touching thought that Nancy would now be reunited with her son up in heaven. But there you have it, folks. Our look at Raw as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.